This video is about a rare chance that Canada is giving Iranian citizens who want to apply for an open work permit or study permit and do it all for free. So I'll break down what it does exactly, how to qualify, give you a free step-by-step tutorial, and then we'll answer most frequent questions that get people confused. I'm not charging $1 for this video. All I ask is you give it a big like and continue watching. The Minister of Immigration announced Canada is going to let Iranian citizens with a temporary status like a visitor visa switch to a work or study permit. Also, those whose status is expiring soon will be able to extend their status. Here's what you need to be eligible. You need to have Iranian citizenship. You need to have a temporary status like visitor, worker, or student permit. You need to apply before February 28th, 2024. It's important to note, if you're an Iranian citizen in Canada right now, let's say you have a study permit, it might be worth it for you to first graduate, then apply for the postgraduate work permit. Also, last week, the Minister of Immigration announced that they will be extending postgrad work permits that expired in 2022 or expired this year in 2023. However, if you're struggling financially as a student, it might be worth it to switch to this open work permit under the new policy, or if you're on a visitor permit. Let's break it down in the tutorial. Welcome to the tutorial. We're gonna make it very simple and straightforward so you as an Iranian citizen can get your open work permit. First of all, you will need to log into your GC Key account. If you don't have it, you need to sign up. Then you will be scrolling all the way down here. You see your applications, and then you scroll all the way down. You click apply to come to Canada. Then you're brought over onto this page where you can scroll down and click visitor visa, study and/or work permit. Click on this one and you can start filling out this application step by step with me. This section is pretty important. Let's say you're a visitor right now, you want to get a work permit. You select work. But if you want to get a study permit, you select study. Pretty self-explanatory. Next, select more than 6 months. You need to be an Iranian citizen. Remember, that should be your passport or one of your passports if you have multiple passports. And then your current country of residence would be Canada. Question about the US citizenship, I'm going to say no, but it might be different for you. About your immigration status in Canada. In order to qualify, you need to have a temporary resident status like visitor or study status, but you cannot be a refugee or live-in caregiver to qualify under this stream. So I selected visitor for this one. Now, this section is important. Does one of the following apply to you? This will be applying to you as you're applying under an open work permit public policy or pilot program announced by IRCC. So you say yes to this one. The rest, it might be different, but I'm going to say no. But again, these depend on your individual case. But the top one, you need to say yes. Your marital status, obviously, it's individual. I'm just going to say single to make it simpler. What's your province of destination? I'm going to say Nova Scotia because I'm based in Halifax, but obviously this will be different for you. And now your results, it says open work permit. Perfect. Now we qualify to apply under this stream. This one, I'm going to say no to make things easier, but it might be different for you. When does your status in Canada expire? So if you're a visitor, normally you're given a permit for about 6 months. So I'm just going to select 6 months from now, which will be probably around September. Have you had a medical exam? You can say no, and you might be exempt from it. If IRCC requires a medical exam, they will communicate it to you. Now you want to check the list of these jobs, and if you intend in working in one of those sectors, you will require a medical exam, but I'm going to say no just for the sake of making it easier. Again, if you want to work in one of those sectors or jobs, you would need a medical exam, but I'm going to say no. If you want to submit an application for a family member, you can also do so, but I'm going to say no to make it simple. And you can also hire a representative. For example, I have an immigration lawyer. If you want our help, you can definitely reach out. We can help submit an application, but you can also do it on your own, so I hit no. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints? This refers to biometrics. I'm going to say yes, because most likely if you got a visitor permit, you have. There are fees associated with this application. To make it free, and yes, you're eligible to submit your application for free, you can say, no, I am exempt from paying fees for this application. And then you hit next. Are you able to make a digital copy? You have to say yes. And now it brings you over to reviewing your answers. You want to go through this list very carefully. Make sure you did not make any mistakes. Here you can even check with what I have. Some of the questions are individual, others are universal if you're applying under this policy. And now the most interesting part, the most important one, the document checklist. This is where you'll be uploading your documents such as passport, proof of fee exemption, digital photo, client information, information, and then the form IMM 5710. Let's walk you through what needs to be filled out and the most important details. You can simply check what I have on this screen, but it's very straightforward. Pretty much the only thing you need to be aware of is when they ask you for your territory of residence, you will be applying from Canada under this policy. So you will indicate when your status expires. So you can say whatever your visitor visa is issued on, and then when it expires here. Next, another factor you need to consider would be, let's see, country of citizenship, your passport. Of course, it has to be Iran. For the sake of making it simpler, I just said that I'm from Tehran, from Iran. Communication, this is pretty straightforward. And now, coming to Canada, this section, I want to pay your attention to this. So, date and place of your original entry. This is the first time ever that you entered Canada in your life. So if you did it, let's say 5 years ago, you're gonna put that date and place. But now it's a date and place of your most recent entry. So for this one is, let's say that you just came to Canada last week, you're going to include that date here and the place of entry, which is the airport. For details of intended work in Canada, select open work permit. And then under name of employer, you can say Iran 2023 special measures. And the same can be copied and pasted into complete address. And then you can just indicate the city and province where you want to stay or where you're applying from already. For occupation job title, again, I just copied Iran 2023 special measures, same for brief description of duties. And then it's very straightforward. The only thing would be this one, employment. If you've never been employed, let's say you're a student, you never worked in your life, you would just need to say you're unemployed. That's your occupation, because this section cannot be omitted. It has to be filled out. You can just say from the date when you turned 18, let's say, and then 2, you can leave blank. But if you've had employment, obviously you would need to list out where you worked before. And then some security questions, very straightforward. At the end, you need to sign it, put a date on it, and validate the form. Once it's been validated, you can upload to your GCKey document checklist. So basically, I'm going to hit upload file. Then I'm going to choose that file. I'm going to choose my IMM form, and then I'm going to upload it here. See, the file has been uploaded. Return to your documents. Another important document is this proof of fee exemption. So you're going to make a simple Word document that will say the following. In this Word document, you want to say that I am exempt from paying fees under the Iranian special measures, and you want to upload this document in here. Then you want to upload your passport and digital photo. This form is not mandatory to upload, just like client information. Client information is your letter of explanation. This is the details you want to communicate to the visa officer. For this section, what I put is the following. Iran new policy, or you can say Iran 2023. Name this file like this, and then you can say, dear visa officer, I am an Iranian citizen with a visitor permit in my case, but you can say with a student permit in Canada, applying for an open work permit under the new policy situation in Iran, temporary immigration, passport, and citizenship measures. This is meant for the visa officer to be informed of who you are and what policy you're applying on, because sometimes they might be confused, as normally you would not be able to apply for an open work permit from outside Canada without an employer or without having studied here. Once you've uploaded all of the documents in here, there's going to be a button, submit your application or continue. You can just hit it, and as you can tell, the application is free for you because you're applying under this special program. This tutorial comes from the official IRCC government website that provides a step-by-step guide that you can find by clicking on the link in the description below. You might be wondering about a few things. First, I have a visitor visa, but I'm abroad. Can I come to Canada and apply? The answer is yes. Number 2, can my parents apply if they have visitor permits? Yes. Number 3, can I become a permanent resident or citizen through this policy? Not directly, but once you get 1 year of work experience, yes, you can apply for PR. Number 4, can I apply for a visitor permit, get it, and then switch to the open work permit? Yes, but keep in mind the deadline for this application is February 28th, 2024. Number 5, can I wait a bit to apply right before my visitor visa expires? Yes, but keep in mind the deadline is February 28th, 2024, and the processing of this application can be about 2 months, which is my estimate given the current immigration climate. Please share this video with your Iranian friends, a community that's proven to be incredibly strong and resilient. I hope this tutorial was able to help you stay in Canada for longer and build your new chapter here. Check out my new channel, Immigrant Wealth, over here, and I'll see you next week.